Let's go, Seahawks fans! This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner. And if you are jacked up about being here, I know you got one eye on the games. That's fine. Have your eye on the college basketball. Have one eye on what we got going on here today. Go down below in the comment section and spam those 12s. And while you're down there, there's 61 of y'all. Hit that thumbs up button. What's going on, Bunny? What's going on, Pop Toes? What's going on, Hummer? What's going on, Big Ed? Wimp, what's good, brother? Good to see ya. I love it. I love Blitz. Good to see you, Eric and Productions. What's going on, big dog? The 12s, they're down below in the chat. They're down below in the comment section. They're fired up to be here. I'm fired up to be here. What's going on, Tony? What's going on, Unseen Servant? What's going on, Leland? Big Ed, you're the great big dog. What's up, Jennifer Price? How you doing? We're having a good day today. I'm going to call in the most important man behind this stream, and I'm going to be honest. It's his Christmas. It's his favorite holiday. It is the one, the only producer, Surl. I know you got your eye on the basketball right now, sir, but I am going to ask you how you doing.
Fantastic. Like you said, this is my equivalent to Christmas morning. Yes. I love college basketball. Better than the NBA. Blows it out of the water, in my opinion, if you ask me. However, I'm still excited about the potential return of the Supersonics. I didn't forget.
That's true.
But I'm going to preface this live show by just mentioning if we're in between cuts, you might get some play-by-play from us.
Yes.
Siena currently up on Duke. North Dakota State up early, very early, on Michigan State. Arkansas up to a 9-0 lead on Hawaii. We'll keep you guys updated.
Yes.
You know, as the show goes. Obviously, we'll hit to the big Seahawks news, off-season rumors, news, what have you, answer your questions, but fantastic to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we will. What's going on, Elijah? Good to see you. Good to see you, Braden. What's going on, Tony? Man, oh, man. So here's what we got going on today. You know, if we're live, that means I need your questions. You can use the hashtag Seahawks, or you can do what the lower third says, super chat to get on the show today. I can guarantee that if you send in a super chat, you will be mentioned not just in our mailbag, but in our Saturday show. You will be a part of the program. Jerry Brooks, good to see you down below there. If you send in that super chat, I guarantee that you will be on the program today and on Saturday when we put out our mailbag. Use the hashtag. I'll do my best to get you on the show. Can't guarantee it, though. So if you come in and you use your hashtag Seahawks, we'll try to get you on. Use that super chat. We're for sure getting you in to something today. We'll get you into our mailbag show. Make sure, Darius, I see what you put in there, but I can't answer it unless you use that hashtag Seahawks. You got to put the hashtag Seahawks to get in on the show today. 68 people are in the building, producer Surl. Chastity, Lottie, good to see y'all. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. Super easy to do. All you got to do, smash that like button. Lets everyone know that you love the content that we're doing here. We love going live. We got to be live a couple of times during free agency. We want to be live as much as possible. The easiest way for us to do that is to go to the bosses and say, hey, well, look, on Thursdays, we're putting out 100 liked live streams. So go in and hit that thumbs up button. It makes it easier for us to be able to do more of these, which is what we want to do. Now, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all being in here with us. I got to do some business, though. Let's talk about our chatsports.com/Seahawks merch. Because if you go in right now, in the comment section, I'm going to make sure I throw that link in because I don't want y'all to miss out on your opportunity to check out what we got going on over there. You can see the Seahawks Today t-shirt. I am wearing our Mob Mentality t-shirt right now. If you go down, you click that link, it'll take you where you need to go. You can get the Champions merch. We got all kinds of cool stuff. My guy Jerry Brooks, He's probably got a closet full of these things now. They're super comfortable, very easy to wear. You can click that link. It'll take you right where you need to go. All super affordable, by the way. And you'll be helping us out here on the channel. You'll be helping us out on the show. Here's the thing also with those T-shirts, by the way. You go in, you grab those. It gives us more of an opportunity to go to the bosses and say, hey, we need to make more Seahawks Today T-shirt gear that you may want. Maybe we get something going for Shaheed. Maybe we get like a need for Shaheed type of T-shirt. That could be something pretty cool. We've been mulling around. A Nick Demon Worry T-shirt would be pretty sick. A Demon Worry T-shirt with our guy right there in the front would be effing awesome. So hopefully we end up getting to do that. Pop Toes, producer Surl and I had a great time on St. Patrick's Day. The parts that we responsibly remember.
Yes, it was a fantastic time. Hope all you 12 celebrated accordingly and responsibly, of course.
Yes, just like we definitely did.
Yeah.
We definitely remember all the things we got into.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow, Sienna is holding on to this 6-point lead.
They are holding on for dear life.
Wow.
58-52. About 9.5 left.
Wow. Oh, wow. What's up, champ? Good to see you. All right, Telos, I'll tell you right now, we'll get into some of that draft talk on today's show. There's 63 of you hanging out with us. Hit that thumbs up button. Here's what I'm thinking, producer Surl. I want to give us an opportunity to get into that first cut for the people. I also want to make sure that the people know we still haven't had our first super chat of the show today. If you want to guarantee that you're on a future program, you're going to send in a super chat right now. You'll be on today's show as well as our Saturday show. Here's what I'm thinking. We need to set a like goal. Now, it's not fair to ask the people to get all the way to that 100 like mark right now. But I think with 61 people in the building right now, 37 likes, I think we can get to 50 likes. That's only 13 more people hitting that thumbs up button. If we get to 50 likes, we'll get into our first segment. And our first segment today is effing sweet. You know why? Because I'm going to tell you how the Seahawks won the NFL offseason. I've already declared it. I've already decided. There is no team in the National Football League that had a better offseason than our Seattle Seahawks. And I want to tell you how they got to that point. I want to tell you what the Seahawks did to put themselves in a position where they could be the number one team again coming out of NFL free agency, coming out of the 2026 NFL offseason. I want to make sure that you know what the Seahawks did. And right now, we are just 8 likes away, but there are 72 people hanging out with us. By the way, what's up, Oliver? Good to see you, big dog. We need 8 likes. We get 8 likes, guess what? We're getting right into that segment. We're getting right into that cut. And I'll let you know all the important things that you need to know about your favorite team in Seattle. I'll tell you what, producer Surl. Ooh, you know what? We'll just scratch that. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. By the way, we're good there. We'll scratch that. So no worries. Yes, sir. Here's our show for today, by the way. We're going to be with you for 3 different segments, hanging out as always. Remember, like we talked about earlier, you want to be on a show, the best way, you send in that super. And we'll get it right to you. We'll make sure that we get you into our show today as well as in the mailbag. We're 2 likes away, not too far. Samuel, I do want to tell you, but I need your help. The best way to help me out is by hitting that thumbs up button. Best part, it's free 99. It's free 99. It's easy to do. It's easy to help us out. And like I said, it helps us get to be able to do more of these. Bang! The people of Seahawks Today helping us out. Hitting that thumbs up button. We all appreciate all of y'all. So here is our game plan for today. 1, thank you. Appreciate y'all for being here. We're going to get into how the off season was won by the Seahawks. We got a draft segment for you as well, and we have that mailbag. I want to make sure that I get as many of your questions answered as possible. Use that hashtag Seahawks or send in a super chat. We're going to get into this first segment, and then when we come back, it might turn into a little bit of a basketball stream because Duke and Siena is coming down to the wire, and I may or may not have planned this just so that we could get to watch this thing first, all right? Sounds like a plan. All right. Oh, no, Duke may miss the three. Okay, you ready, Surl? I'm going to be laser focused in. No one's ever been more laser focused than me right now. We'll be back here in 1 sec. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button, by the way, if you have not done so already. All right. We're talking about how the Seahawks won the NFL offseason. I'm Will Ortner. This is Seahawks Today, and I've declared it. It's over. Call the fat lady. Tell her to start singing because the Seattle Seahawks have just won the 2026 NFL offseason, and it was won by one John Schneider. How did he win it? What did he do? What have the Seahawks positioned themselves to be in 2026? I'll let you know on today's video after you share it on social media. Make sure that you tag me at Will Ortner, whether you're sharing it on Instagram or on Twitter. I will make sure that I get you a shout out in a future show. Want to make sure that you get the love and appreciation that you deserve. So let's go through the 2026 NFL offseason right now for the Seahawks because I think there are some that don't see the full picture, that right now are lost in the forest and don't see the clearing through the trees, that would say the Seahawks did not do a whole lot and that the Seahawks did not do enough to put themselves in a position to repeat as Super Bowl champions. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're wrong because the Seahawks did just enough. If not, they did more than just enough. When we look at part one of the re-signed players, Seattle had 18 players from that Super Bowl roster that were going to end up as potential free agents. Well, the Seahawks, they brought back a vast majority of them. First, Rashid Shaheed and Cody White, wide receivers, brought back for the Seahawks. Obviously, one a little bit greater than the other, and despite the fact that Cody White and I share a haircut, I'm telling you right now, Rashid Shaheed being brought back for this team is a gigantic deal. Josh Jones, quality, sixth offensive lineman. He is your swing tackle, bringing it back fantastic. Chris Stoll, unbelievable player for this squad. Brady Russell, both those two do a fantastic job on special teams. Every player has an important role with this roster, and so when we look at that offensive/special teams crew, I want to make sure everyone knows how important all of those guys are. Now, they're not all going to be the big, sexy players. In fact, 4 of the 5 players on there, you're really not going to see them a whole lot on offense unless there's an injury. But they all fill a vital role for this team, and more importantly, on the offensive side, they end up adding in to this squad as being quality backups, getting great looks during practice, or they add in on the special teams unit. Everyone has a role to play, and Seattle has had those players excel at the roles. The most important guy, though, the guy that we're going to talk about the most, is Rashid Shaheed. And the season that he had last year in Seattle was one of the more impressive seasons that I've seen from a player that's not going to show up on a stat sheet. Because when you look at his wide receiver stats, you're going to say to me, Will, Rashid Shaheed got overpaid. But then I'm going to tell you, well, did you see him on special teams? And he was unbelievable, having multiple touchdowns for the Seattle Seahawks. And yeah, they might have overpaid a little bit. But I'm telling you right now, Rashid Shaheed will be unlocked with this Seahawks team in the 2026 NFL season. So I love every move that the Seahawks went out and made there. They have 5 more moves that we are going to discuss. But first, we're going to get back to today's video, but first I want to let you know about my friends over at Cheers. At 28 years old, I'm starting to get over the hill, and even 1 or 2 drinks of alcohol responsibly over an evening can really ruin me the next day. That's why I've started to get really obsessed with Cheers. Cheers restores a dual action after alcohol aid. Its ingredients support both your brain and your liver after consuming alcohol. Cheers was originally invented by a student at Princeton based on research into a novel compound called DHM. DHM demonstrated powerful alcohol-related properties in the brain and liver. So Cheers was designed for how alcohol actually affects your body, not just dehydration. Cheers has appeared on Shark Tank, and today Cheers is sold in over 30,000 stores, including Walgreens, CVS, 7-Eleven, and Circle K. They've sold over 50 million doses, 7,500 4- and 5-star reviews on Amazon. This isn't for college binge drinking. If you have 12 tequila shots, you're probably still going to feel rough. But if you're a normal adult responsibly having 2, 3, or 4 drinks, you'll feel significantly better with Cheers. Same night out, way better morning with Cheers. For a limited time, our listeners are getting 20% off their entire order by using chat at cheershealth.com. Just head to cheershealth.com and use code CHAT for 20% off. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support Seahawks Today and tell them our show sent you. When we look on the defensive side of the football, Seattle brought back a bunch of really key players, 2 that are going to be starters on this team, 2 that are going to be big-time backups, and a 3rd that has a good chance and could be in a good position to really add in on the defensive side of this team and add in to the defensive roles for this squad. The defense just continues to get better, in my personal opinion. And the more and more that I look at what the Seahawks are doing in the positions that they are putting themselves in, Seattle has shown that they know how to develop talent, first find talent, then develop talent, and then make sure that they make the right moves on what talent they need to pay or what talent they do not. Let's look at Drake Thomas, for example. Drake Thomas is a player that the Seahawks found that no one else wanted. They developed him into being a big-time player, and more so than just being a big-time player, he ended up being, well, a starter on this team, and he's well above and well worth everything that the Seahawks are willing to pay him. Just look at his stat line. When I look at Josh Jobe, not only did the Seahawks find Josh Jobe, not only did the Seahawks develop Josh Jobe, but what the Seahawks did was they had a position of need at that cornerback number 2 spot. The Seahawks had to make a decision. Do you pay Rick Woolen or do you pay Josh Jobe? And at the end of the day, the Seahawks realized they're going to get the same amount of production between Jobe and between Woolen, and they're going to get Jobe at half the price. So let's pay the guy that's half the price that's going to do essentially the exact same things. And so this defense, it just keeps getting better. Or at worst, it stays the same. I feel pretty confident about a defense that's staying the same. That just is the reason why your team won a Super Bowl. Make sure you hit that sub button. You want to make sure that you keep up with the Seattle Seahawks throughout the year of 2026. And we're going to make sure that we keep you in that right position. Now, the Seahawks didn't only just bring back those players that we showed up on your screen. Because the Seahawks, well, they also had some players that they were able to bring back because they tendered their contracts. These are guys who were restricted free agents. That would be Jake Bobo, Ty Okada, and George Halani, wide receiver, safety, and running back with this team. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I think a lot of people know, but a lot of experts and national media members do not. All 3 of those players are going to take on bigger roles for the Seahawks next year, but more importantly, Ty Okada and George Halani, the way that free agency is shaped up, I think that they're about to take gigantic leaps forward and have shown us that they have earned the ability to take those leaps forward. Again, let's make the same analogy that we talked about before. The Seahawks find talent. Ty Okada off the scrap heap. Who was talking about him being a big-time player in the National Football League? I'll give you a hint. Nobody. The Seahawks then develop him. His first couple of games with this squad didn't go so well. Then all of a sudden, by the end, he was doing the exact same things that Kobe Bryant was doing. A player that the Seahawks decided we're okay letting him go because we've got a guy who's going to do the exact same things at home, and he's going to be a lot cheaper of a player. So when I look at this team, George Halani, by the way, he's going to continue to grow in his role, taking on probably closer to a running back one position. This team is going to continue to get better or stay the same, which is good because you're staying the same at a championship level. You're staying the same after winning a Super Bowl. Now, I do believe that the roster got better, but even in the spots where you want to argue with me that the roster didn't get better, I'll tell you it stayed the exact same, and I know you're going to agree with me. Something that gets better every time I look at it, that's our chatsports.com Seahawks merch collection. You can go grab one today. You can grab a Seahawks Today t-shirt, which you've seen me wear here on the show. You still want to relish in the Super Bowl championship? You can go grab one of those t-shirts that we got going. We have hoodies as well. You want to be a bit more whimsical? You can throw the mascot edition on as well. I got the Mob Mentality t-shirt. You can show you've got the Mob Mentality t-shirt as well. We're going to put that link in the comment section and description of today's video. You click that link, take you right where you need to go. You can go pick yourself up a very affordable and a very comfortable t-shirt or hoodie. I'll tell you right now, it'll be your favorite thing that you own. Next, let's look at the new Seahawks that the 12s brought in, that Schneider brought in with him. Running back Emmanuel Wilson. This is a guy that, look, he was a backup where he was, but he clearly has a talent and a need that the Seahawks team needs to have on their squad. Noah Igbinoghene. He is a player that I struggle pronouncing his name, but he's a former first-round pick. He's a cornerback that can come in and compete for this squad. And if Mike Macdonald gets him on the right track, clearly he has the talent to be successful. Rodney Thomas, a strong safety who is going to be able to add into this team, a player that has shown that he can be a starting caliber guy on this team. D'Anthony Bell, a player that spent most of the year with the Seahawks, and a guy who's going to add in on the special team side as well as continue to push for being a starting safety. Schneider had a clear plan. Bring in as many guys as possible, probably more so on the cheaper side, while still making sure that you hold on to your comp picks for the 2027 year, but positioning yourself in a way that you can still be successful, as long as guys take the appropriate steps forward. How often do we see teams overspend in free agency, quote-unquote win free agency, and then suck butt during the NFL season? Happens all the time. That's not going to be your Seahawks team. Do you like the offseason moves that the Seahawks have made? Let me know down below in the comment section, yes or no. I love them because I think the Seahawks won free agency, and I'll tell you that with my chest. I got no problem saying it. Now, did the Seahawks come out completely unscathed? No. You have some key losses. Most of them are going to be on the defensive side, but you end up losing about 5 big-time players from this team, whether they were adding in on the special teams unit or, in the most case, they were big-time starters. Here are your key departures. You lost Kenneth Walker. He's no longer in Seattle. Derek Young, he went with former offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. He decided to go over to Vegas. Kobe Bryant got paid, and he deserves it, went over to Chicago. Boye Mafe, congratulations to you, sir. He's getting paid in Cincinnati. And Rick Woolen, well, we all kind of knew that he was going to move on, but he put himself in a spot where he could go really get paid. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that these aren't tough losses, because they are. But I also know that the Seahawks made the correct decision with all of these because Seattle knows that they can't just overpay everyone. You have to make hard decisions on who you pay and who you give a lot of money to. And when you look at 4 of those 5 guys that are on the move right now, they all got big-time contracts. They all deserve the big-time contracts that they got. Woolen deserves his contract. Kobe Bryant deserves his contract. Boye Mafe deserves his contract. Kenneth Walker deserves his contract. But every single one of these guys also have to understand that when you look at the Seahawks team, they lost 1 starter on defense and they lost 1 starter on offense. And in every move that they decided to not pay those guys, I think Schneider made the correct decision. Either for a positional value standpoint, from a you have a replacement that's going to be cheaper standpoint, or from a, hey, you're banking a lot on that guy showing that he can improve standpoint. Seattle decided to hang on to a bunch of cap space because they know that there's more that is coming down the line. Seattle is going to have to pay Jackson Smith-Njigba and Devin Witherspoon. They are extension eligible, or the Seahawks have to make the decision to pick up that fifth-year option on May 1st. And they're going to, obviously. But when I look at the Seahawks team and the decisions that Schneider has made, he said, I have to pay Jackson Smith-Njigba. And I think that Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to be probably close to the number one wide receiver in terms of average annual salary. I think he deserves that because he's close to being the number one wide receiver in the league. Devin Witherspoon, he's going to be close to the top paid cornerback in the National Football League. I think he deserves that. He is an absolute freak, and he's close to being the best cornerback in the National Football League. So you look at both of those players, and it's clear to me that Seattle decided to pay two guys that are the top of their position instead of paying four guys that are really good at their position, but aren't necessarily the top person at their spot, especially since Seattle had someone that can step in and replace those guys for a much cheaper rate. So to me, that's a victory. You got the best guys that you possibly could. You held on to certain guys for a cheaper contract than they probably could have gotten elsewhere. And you set yourself up to pay your big money earners really quickly. I love it. What was your favorite move for the Seahawks this offseason? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you do not agree with me, hopefully you can let me know why the Seahawks did or did not win this offseason. I think they did. That's why I'd go and share this video on social media and let everybody know the propaganda that we are pushing here on Seahawks Today, because it's only going to be positive for our Seattle Seahawks. Make sure that you hit that sub button, one, because I'm going to give you all the news updates, and I'm going to tell it like it is. But at the same time, when the Seahawks need to get pumped up a little bit, I'm going to make sure that I do that for them. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Whoa, Jerry! I love it, sir. We're going to get your super chat up on the board. Producer Surl's working overtime right now, making sure it's in the right spot. Jerry! Boom! Good to see you, sir. Thank you to everyone who hung out with us through that first segment. If you want to be like Jerry, you want to end up on our Mailbag show on Saturday as well as on our show today, you send in that super chat. We guarantee you will be on our Mailbag. Jerry asks, expecting to see Shaheed make a huge improvement as a wide receiver, getting timing dialed in with Sam during the offseason. Jerry, I could not agree more. I kept saying that it was only a matter of time before Sam and Shaheed ended up getting it figured out, to the point where they were on the exact same page. I think that an offseason where all they do is just work on finding where Shaheed wants the ball, on Sam figuring out just exactly how fast Shaheed is, if he can layer a football a certain type of way. It's only a matter of time. You are going to see this team, you are going to see this squad absolutely take off, and you are going to see one Rashid Shaheed, in my opinion, take off to a level that we have not seen before. Jerry, that's a home run super chat there. Mike Nintendo Master, good to see you. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button, by the way. We are 31 likes away from that 100 mark. If you've not done so, hit that thumbs up button right now. I'll tell you what, I think we got a real shot at getting to 100 likes. Let me know, producer Surl, what we got cooking, because I'll tell you. Oh, yeah, thank you. Loving 69 likes.
Mike, how you doing, man? Long time no talk.
Love that. Yeah, I know. I haven't seen Mike Nintendo Master in a little bit. 4-point game in this Duke-Sienna matchup.
Yeah, Duke just had a huge turnover.
Big time. Sienna for 3. Not going to go.
That might do it.
Sienna's going to have to foul. I don't know why they're not.
Go.
Interesting decision
They
there.
put up a hell of a fight.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. We got 90 people hanging out with us right now. If you haven't hit that like button, do so. Make sure you're using that hashtag Seahawks as well. We want to make sure that we get you onto a show. You send in a super chat, just like my guy Jerry Brooks. I guarantee that we will get you on the show today, as well as on the show on Saturday. We always love answering questions from the 12s. It's my favorite thing, to be honest with you, because I think the 12s, we are the best, I believe, in having smart fans and having fans that understand the game, understand ball. And I think that's always going to be the most important thing. Mike, it's okay. I might have just forgotten to shout you out. That could be on me. Appreciate it, everyone. No, we will not trade Devin Witherspoon. Tell you that right now. You can use that hashtag Seahawks. You want to get on the show. We'll make sure that we get you locked and loaded. Fun day today, producer Surl. Fun day today in the National Football League.
Not only the NFL, but there's sports in general.
Yes. Wow, Siena has had no substitutions today. That's almost shocking. Yeah, or maybe it's in the second half. I just saw no substitutions on there, which is crazy. I like it, Old Greasy. Thank you for using the hashtag. Pop Toast, thank you for using the hashtag. Appreciate both of you. Payton! Boom! Appreciate you, sir. That is fantastic. Oh, my goodness. Payton, you're an absolute real one. We're going to get you up here on the screen. And I love the question that you're asking, Payton, by the way, because it leads into some of the fun that we have planned for the show, some fun that we have potentially lined up for later. We've been talking about some potential trades that the Seahawks could make or could choose not to make. I feel like there is a big trade coming. I think that there is a big move coming.
Sort of feels that way, doesn't it?
Right. I think something's coming for the Seahawks. Obviously, the extensions, that's only a matter of time.
Right.
But there's also a world, I think. Do we believe that Devon Achane is not going to be traded? Come on.
He has to get out of Miami.
Come on. You can't leave him in that bum organization. Payton! Boom! What's up, big dog? Good to see you. Feel like we might need a big trade, but also scared of a big trade. Everything is expensive, yes. So let's talk about that Devon Achane trade. Producer Surl, do we happen to still have that trade that I created a couple of days ago? The first round trade. I think we still have it in here. So Payton, this is a trade that Yeah. So this is a trade that I made after the latest Adam Schefter report on if the Miami Dolphins would trade Devon Achane. And to me, this is not necessarily an expensive trade, but if you're the Seahawks, you do have to understand that you have to eventually pay him because he would be in the final year of his contract. Now, to me, is there anyone at pick number 32 that we, as a fan base, think will be better than Devon Achane for sure? Guaranteed. No question about it. No, right?
Correct.
Could someone be better? Maybe.
Could, maybe. Unlikely.
Right. Thank you. Yes. Producer Surl is right on. This is why he's the best in the business. We are also going to talk in our next segment about a player that plays running back that the Seahawks could potentially take. I think he's good. Really good. Got to watch him a lot in college. I think he's really effing good. I think that he could come to Seattle and maybe one day be better than Devon Achane.
Are you talking about Emmett Johnson?
Unfortunately for producer Surl, I am not talking about Cornhusker great Emmett Johnson.
Yes.
Maybe I will one day.
One day.
In a mock, maybe. We got a lot of mock draft time. It's mock draft season.
Yes, it is.
But I can't guarantee that any of those guys would be better than Devon Achane. So to me, I don't think that giving up that first-round pick is necessarily too crazy. I don't think that Schneider will do it. No. Like, you have all these other GMs. So first of all, you have a bunch of other GMs that make a bunch of moves, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you look at, like, the Browns are always making trades. The Giants are always doing things. Chicago's always doing things. Las Vegas is never not doing things. Things are happening at other organizations. And they're not necessarily very good. When you look at Howie Roseman and the Eagles, they're good. He's always doing something, though. And I think he's really the only version of always doing something that is good.
Right.
John Schneider, I think he's super quiet. He doesn't do a ton. But I think there's a good reason for that because he trusts himself. He trusts his draft picks. He trusts his free agent signings. He trusts that he's going to put his team in the best position possible to succeed. And so I think it's possible that the Seahawks could have a bunch of things go their way and be on the right side of different moves and different decisions. Mm-hmm. But I also think that they say, we'd rather hold on to a first-round pick.
I think you hold on to it.
And I think that's what they're going to do. Now, I would love Devon Achane. I want him here. Right. I don't know if that's the move they make. So then the question becomes, if they do make a big move or a big trade, what could that potentially look like? I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested. Do they try and make a big trade for an O-lineman? Do they wait until June 1st and then go and potentially sign a free agent offensive lineman that they know won't really affect their comp picks? Because Seattle clearly wants to hold on to their comp picks. It's interesting. I'll be very interested to see. James says, go Hawks and Mariners and Huskies and Bellarmine Prep. Shout out to Bellarmine Prep, dude.
Yeah, I went to a prep school as well.
You did?
Creighton Prep.
Creighton Prep. Shout out to Creighton Prep. We've got a Gonzaga Prep in Spokane.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I did not. I was a public school kid. Shout out to the Hawkinson Hawks. Let's go. Shout out to Peyton, by the way. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, big dog. I believe that the Seahawks have a clear game plan. All right. Yeah. We're at 83 likes right now. Let's get, what do you say, producer Surl?
Can we get to 100?
I think we get to 90 and we do our second segment.
Love it.
We get 7 more likes. We'll get to our next segment. 7 more likes or the next super chat, whichever comes first.
Also, for those college basketball fans,
Duke did win.
Duke did survive.
I jumped on your toes there. 6. I'm sorry. Yeah, they did.
So your bracket lives, although mine's already down the toilet for the most part.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude. I think I've gotten 2 games right. I got TCU right, and I got Duke right.
I got TCU, Duke.
And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't have High Point.
Yep.
They're sort of the Cinderella right now.
Yep. James, shout out to you. Okay. I see you, big dog. I see you. My bracket's not doing too hot, but we'll be all right. We just need 5 more likes. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, make sure that you do so now. We're going to get into that second segment. By the way, we got to talk about this great decision, this great move that could potentially be coming the Seahawks' way. Could be potentially coming the Seattle Seahawks' way. We need 4 more likes or 1 super chat. That'll get us into that next segment. 3 likes away. Look at that. The people are helping us out. Bellarmine Prep, home of one Christian Moore, who was a quarterback that I blocked for a little while. He was at Central Washington. Tell you what, by the way, I think I'm going to end up needing Tommy John. My elbow is garbo right now. No good. That's what I'm saying. I know. Well, maybe I'll be able to throw a fastball faster. Maybe I'll be pitching for the Mariners this time next year after I go get some Tommy John, dude. Boom! 90 likes. We got and Peyton. Peyton says next. Peyton, you beast. By the way, I got you in that raffle, Peyton. Not this live, but probably the next time we go live. we'll raffle off that Lucky Links 12's bracelet, by the way. One of the cooler bracelets that we have had in quite some time. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to get Peyton's Super Chat up here quick, and then we will go right into Daniel Jeremiah's next mock draft. So we're going to break this down. Now, it's similar to Mel Kiper's mock draft where it's just about one player, but we're going to break down whether I think the Seahawks will actually draft this player, if it would make sense for the Seahawks to draft this player, and we'll also talk about why the Seahawks may or may not make this decision, why the Seahawks may or may not move on to someone else, why the Seahawks, and I still think there's a world where the Seahawks could trade back. That wouldn't end up shocking me either. I could definitely see that. Peyton! Shout out to you, sir. He says next. We're moving on to the next. Just scrolling through, making sure no Seahawks Today merch was snagged. We always make sure that if you do snag some Seahawks Today merch, you get a shout out on a future show. Wouldn't want anyone to miss out on any of that. All right, producer Surl, are we in a spot where we are ready? I love that. I absolutely love that. All right. We're going to go through the latest mock draft for the Seahawks. By the way, we are 2 likes away from hitting that 100 mark. Can we do it? Go down below in that comment section. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's see if we can do it while we're doing this mock draft. I'm Will Ortner. This is Seahawks Today, and Daniel Jeremiah has the Seahawks making a very interesting choice in the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft. We're going to dive into who the player is, and will that player end up actually fitting into the Seahawks scheme and to what the Seahawks want to do as a team. It's a player that I wouldn't say necessarily most people have linked to the Seahawks, even though it is a position and he plays a position that the Seahawks desperately really need. Who do you think the Seahawks will take at pick number 32? Let us know down below in the comment section. I'm very interested on your opinion down there because I think that the Seahawk fans know where the Seahawks have some big needs, but more importantly, I think Seahawk fans know the type of player that's going to fit best with head coach Mike Macdonald. When I look at the needs right now for the Seattle Seahawks, running back is a clear number 1 need. Cornerback, to me, is a clear number 2, and there have been a lot of NFL draft experts that have been linking different cornerbacks to the Seattle Seahawks. An edge rusher to kind of replace Boye Mafe, unless you're planning on going with Ivy and O'Toole. That's also possible. And then I always think that you can never have too many offensive linemen. I know the Seahawks like a lot of their offensive line, much to the chagrin of some Seahawk fans. But I will say right now, I do believe that Seattle might end up going after an offensive lineman. So the question is, who does Daniel Jeremiah have the Seahawks taking at pick number 32? Well, it's a player in that number 1 need. Jadarian Price, the Texas running back who went to Notre Dame. I say Texas because, well, as you can see, that is where he was born. When we look at Price, he had to play second fiddle to Jeremiyah Love this last season, and Love is going to be the number 1 running back taken off the board. There is no question about that. But when we look at Price, he's the type of running back that he would have been a big focal point. He would have shined as a star at a different school. But this is what Daniel Jeremiah had to say on him joining the Seattle Seahawks. I see a steep drop at running back position this year after Price. He would slide right into the mix in Seattle with Kenneth Walker departing and Zach Charbonnet coming off of an injury. So, yeah, it makes sense. Price is the next best running back. There is a little bit of a dip in the position, and the Seahawks clearly have a need at that spot. So, into the rest of today's video, we are going to answer the question, how does Price add to this team potentially? But the more important question to me is, Should the Seahawks take a running back this early? This is a position of need, so Seattle should clearly do that. Jadarian Price is the best running back at a position of need available for the Seahawks when they will be taking their pick. So in a normal situation and in a vacuum, yes, Seattle should do this move. But we don't live in a vacuum. And there's still some different moves and decisions that Seattle could make. We'll dive into all that in one moment, but I got to let you know about our sweet gear that we've got over on our Seahawks Today collection. You can grab a Seahawks Today t-shirt looking just like your boy here. Perfect for going out or if you just want to hang out at the house. We got Champions merch as well. Of course, we've got t-shirts, hoodies of that. You want to be a little bit more whimsical. Tell you right now, going and grabbing that mascot t-shirt is pretty stinking cool. I got the Mob Mentality t-shirt on, letting everybody know just how cool we are, and we're on a mission, and it's over all of the other BS. If you want to go and grab any of that gear, we're going to have the link in the comment section and description of today's video. You click that link, it'll take you right where you need to go. You can go get yourself one today. When we look at Jadarian Price, you're going to say, Will, his stat line is not all that impressive. It's also important to know that he was not the number one running back on his team. It's also important to know that the number one running back on his team is a potential top 10, really a top 5 pick. Now, Price does a great job of finding a way to get into the end zone while also making the most of his carries, because when you look at everything that he's been doing, he's only getting about 120 carries a year, and he's still finding a way to get into the end zone multiple times. In fact, I got into the end zone 11 times with a very high average, averaging essentially over 6 yards a carry. So how would Price add into this team? It does feel like he would fill that hole of that position number 1. He would dive in and instantly be the starter, or at least the number 1 option, because Seattle right now with Emmanuel Wilson, as well as having Zach Charbonnet once he does come back, it feels like the Seahawks have their power backs. They need that explosive back. But to me, I don't know that I would take Price this early. And it's not just because of how he is as a player. It's not just because of how highly I think of George Holani as well as Kenny McIntosh. It's a couple of different reasons. Because to me, if you're going to take a running back that early, it better be the only position that you really need. But more importantly, that running back better be so much more talented than everyone else and be that final missing piece that he puts you over the top to win a Super Bowl. Seahawks don't really need that piece. Hit that subscribe button if you love Seahawks Today and you love the Seattle Seahawks. We'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on with your favorite team. When I look at this running back draft, in my personal opinion, I think it's actually a deep position. I think if you look at free agency, it's a deep position. I think if you look at the Seahawks team, it's a deep position. I understand that Daniel Jeremiah says there's a steep drop-off after Jadarian Price. Well, producer Surl definitely disagrees. I disagree too. I think Emmett Johnson's a very good running back. When I look at Mike Washington Jr., his speed is absurd. He is so much faster than the rest of the players here on this team and at this position group that, in my personal opinion, I think that Seattle can go and get a running back later. And I didn't even mention Singleton from Penn State. I didn't even mention, and as a homer, I love the Oregon Ducks, Noah Whittington, someone that you could probably get on day 3. When I look at this draft at running back, I think it's Jeremiyah Love, and then I think it's everybody else. And so to me, I disagree with Daniel Jeremiah. Now, he is a NFL draft expert, so I could be potentially wrong. But I also don't think that there's a big difference between a 1 running back and a 5 running back in a draft, as much as I believe there's a difference between a 1 quarterback and a 5 quarterback, or a 1 tackle versus a 5 tackle. I just think that a lot of running backs, if they are behind a good offensive line, they're going to be pretty damn successful. The other reason why I wouldn't take Jadarian Price at pick number 32 is because of the positional value. In my personal opinion, Seattle should more than likely go after a cornerback, because They need an extra cornerback to come in and be that cornerback number 3 behind Job, or maybe even beat out Josh Job. But more importantly, when you look at the Seahawks backfield, you have a second-round pick in Zach Charbonnet, and then everyone else is either a late round or an undrafted free agent. When you look at the rest of this running back room, they do a pretty damn good job of getting the job done, and that's without having that top-end talent from a drafting standpoint. I like the running back group that the Seahawks have right now. I understand that you don't have that true blue getaway burner. Well, you might potentially if McIntosh comes back and is able to keep on with his speed despite that ACL tear. But I don't know that you need that guy that is 100% gets away, automatically scores a touchdown no matter what. And I'd make the argument that if you want the guy who, as soon as he gets to the second level, is gone, no one's going to run him down, it's not Price. It's Mike Washington in Arkansas. Well, guess what? You can get him in the second or third round. So why would the Seahawks make that pick at 32? I'm not saying that Price isn't a good running back. I just don't think it makes a whole lot of sense for the Seahawks. I also think there's a world where John Schneider can just kind of trade back, maybe get Price a little bit later in the draft as well. Great Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft down below in the comment section. Do you agree with me and think it's more of a C-D type of a grade here for Daniel Jeremiah because, well, he has the Seahawks taking someone really high that they don't need? Or do you disagree with me, which that's completely okay, and you say that this is an A signing because Price would instantly make this offense better at that running back spot? Let me know down below in the comment section. Maybe you're thinking more in the lines of Daniel Jeremiah, and that's okay. Make sure that you hit this thumbs up button if you love the Seattle Seahawks and the coverage that we have here on the channel. This is a channel run by a fan for fans, lifelong. I grew up in Vancouver, Washington. You had to be a Seahawks fan if you grew up down in Vancouver, Washington. Also, make sure that you hit that sub button. We are growing rapidly. We are on the road to 90,000 subscribers, trying to get there very quickly. You hit that sub button, you're going to help us get there as fast as possible. Who knows? Maybe by the time next year starts, we will be a 100K channel. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Hope you love the draft content because we have a ton coming for you. Thank you guys so much for viewing what we've got going on today. I can't wait to see you next time. Producer Surl, over 100 likes. Look at that. We've got the best fans in all of chat sports. I take the 12s against any fan base here. Not just because we're few and mighty, but because we are willing to put our bodies on the line. Shout out to the 12s. I see my guy Pop Toes down below in the comment section really spamming that thing. Let us know what you think of Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft. Very interested in what you have to say. What's up, Trigger? Good to see you. I like Sham. I hope I'm saying your name right. I like Sham's spot there. I see the Seahawks going after a corner. I think Brandon Cisse has a real good shot of getting nabbed. Although I'll tell you what, we put out that video yesterday about the Tony Pauline report. I freaking love Kilgore. The more and more that I learn about Kilgore, the more and more I love that decision, if that's the one that the Seahawks decide to make. Super Zeke the Freak says Washington is climbing up boards. Samuel, good to see ya. Hope you're having a good day today, buddy. Jerry Brooks says D-. Can't see us drafting a backup RB in the first round. Agreed. Not trying to be mean to Jadarian Price. He should go to a spot where he has a chance to really compete for a starting position. That's just my personal opinion there. Let's see. Daniel says Washington should be the RB pick. Love that. Xander, good to see you, big dog. Good to see you. Thank you, Xander, for everything that you do. Thank you, Xander, for everything that you do. We have one final show going today, or one final segment, I guess I should say. And and that is our mailbag. Make sure you're in the chat right now using the hashtag Seahawks or sending in a super chat. That'll let us know what your questions are. One, you send in that super chat, guarantee you'll be on the show today and on the mailbag. Or you can use the hashtag Seahawks, which gives us the ability to do our best to get you on a show. Can't guarantee it, but we always grab a couple of the hashtags and get those guys on the show as best we can.
Absolutely. Final score alert.
Ooh.
Vanderbilt moving on. They take down McNeese State. McNeese put up a good fight, too. That will set up a Vanderbilt and Nebraska round of 32 matchup.
Ooh, that's big for producer Surl.
That is. Not for the reason you think, though. I'm actually...
Yeah, producer Surl, do you want to explain your fandom here real quick to the 12s? It's
confusing for a lot of folks who are not from Nebraska. So let me cue you guys in. Creighton University, located in Omaha, is where I grew up. I grew up with season tickets to going to Creighton basketball games. My mom went to Creighton. Other family members have gone to Creighton. So I grew up a Creighton Blue Jay basketball fan. They also do not have a football team. Grew up a Creighton basketball fan, but I was also raised as a Nebraska football fan because they're the football team in the state. So I'm what they call a J-sker. Creighton basketball fan, Nebraska football fan. I do get a lot of hate for it amongst my friends back home and the guys I went to school with because I even went to Nebraska. But no, it's Blue Jay basketball till the day I die. So
the day you die.
I'm currently on a hate watch for Nebraska.
You are.
And it didn't go well today, but we're anchoring down for Saturday.
There is tomorrow. You still have time.
Also, shout out Xander, the Great.
Xander! Let's go, Seahawks. Thanks for everything you guys do. First of all, thank you. And yes, let's go, Seahawks. Love you, big dog. Love and appreciate you, sir. I'll tell you what. I do keep it quiet on here, but responsibly. I may or may not gamble every once in a while. And I'm trying to find some fun parlays to make here. Just because I can, you know? Just because I can. The problem is I don't want to make the same ones over and over again. We're doing well, though. We're doing well right now. See, problem is I already put a couple of these guys together. Oh, no. What could be a fun one? What could be a fun thing to get a part of? What's fun is hanging out with the 12s, I'll tell you that. Trigger grew up in Long Beach, California. My teams are Seahawks, Angels, Sharks, Magic, Arkansas, and Arsenal. My teams are everywhere. Trigger, your Arkansas Razorbacks, they're having a pretty good day so far today. I will say that. They are having a pretty darn good day today. You know what? Let's do this. I don't care. I'm going to double up on that one because I'm confident. I'm doubling up, producer Surl. Doubling up because I'm confident. All right, let's do this. Producer Surl, let's put a 5-minute timer for the 12s because I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to give everyone a chance to either get their super chat in or their hashtag Seahawks question in before we get into our mailbag. There's still 60 people hanging out with us. They're the real ones, the ones that we love here on Seahawks Today, the ones that we're just excited to hang out with y'all. We love it. It's always some of the most fun. I also understand that there's probably a lot of people that are they're a little more tuned into college basketball right now, and that's okay too. That is okay. Sarah Lynn, what's going on? Yes. Sarah asks, it seems like someone in the front office has gone back to the bad habit of essentially ignoring the offensive line and trying to help improve the O-line. Yeah, to a degree, Sarah. I think that that's fair. I also think that sometimes we just have different positional values or we value a player differently than the Seahawks, fortunately or unfortunately. I will say this, having met Anthony Bradford, I like him a lot. He's a nice guy. There are things that I think you could improve upon there, but I also think that Seattle is saying we have a guy who, when he's living up to his potential, he's doing the right things. He's playing very well. But we have these other positions that we know we have the number one guy in. So we'd rather pay those guys as opposed to potentially paying a new right guard, not being able to afford them. I also think that the Seahawks have a lot of belief in offensive line coach Benton over there, and I think that they believe that he is going to be able to keep this team in a position where the O-line gets better and better every single week, essentially. And I think that Justin Otten, your run game coordinator, and John Benton, your offensive line coach, showed that they could be trusted to improve this team. This isn't like when Tom Cable was our O-line coach, and he was just like, let's grab a D-lineman. He's angry. He's mean. And we'll make him into an O-lineman. So, yeah, that didn't effing work all that often. Pop Toes. He's in San Diego. Grew up loving Seahawks in the NFL, Oregon for college football, and Padres for baseball. I'll tell you right now, producer Surl, I don't know if you've heard my spiel yet on this.
Please enlighten me.
I'm from Vancouver, Washington, so essentially I grew up in Portland.
Yeah.
Love it there. I loved all my trips up to Seattle. Love Seattle. I love Ellensburg, Washington. Spent 6 years there for college. I've now been in Dallas for essentially 8 months, and I really like it down here, and I might be down here. I probably will be down here for quite a while.
Sure.
If I ever get offered a job in San Diego, I will take it tomorrow. I will never leave that.
It's on. I don't remember when we talked about this,
yes.
But we were just like discussing random questions about like places you want to go see. I've never been to San Diego.
It's unbelievable, dude.
I want to go. It's on like a bucket list of cities I want to go to.
You'll never want to come back. Now, the flight in is terrifying. You go over some random skyscraper and then just like drop down in.
Oh, sounds lovely.
Don't love that part. But being by the beach, it's nice, it's sunny, it's warm. Go learn to surf. I never would, but I tell you right now that I believe I'd pretend to try, or I would
be the guy that lays on the surfboard, stomach down, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm surfing.
I figured it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing it. Look, Mom, I'm doing it.
Exactly.
The special lady friend, big time surfer, actually. Yeah. We got a minute. Make sure you use your hashtag Seahawks to get into the show or send in that super chat. So the special lady friend is a big ocean person. Big fan of dolphins. Big fan of whales. She went swimming with the sharks out in Portugal for a whole week. That's why it surprises me that she wanted to be down here in Dallas, but what do I know? Big time open water person. I'll tell you that right now. 20 seconds. You gotta hustle. If you want to get your hashtag in to the show. Hashtag Seahawks. Wow, oh wow. By the way, what a great day. We have our final segment coming up. It's our mailbag where we answer your questions or we talk about some of your favorite statements on today's show. And then after we get through with that, we'll come back, give you a quick sign off. Make sure that you check out all of our videos on the channel, by the way. You're going to get a lot more draft content coming your way because, well, the draft is on its way. But we're going to keep you covered on everything with the Seattle Seahawks, from big news, big rumors, anything you could want or anything you could want to know on your favorite team. We're going to make sure that we get that to you. All right, producer Surl. You ready to go? All right, let's do this thing. I'm Will Ortner. This is Seahawks Today, and we are going to be answering all of your questions from the 12s because the Seattle Seahawks have the best fan base in the National Football League. And I say that not because I think that the 12s represent the best team, not because I think they're the best kept, not just because I think that they are the most stylish, but because I think the Seahawk fans, the 12s, we understand football better than any other fan base in football. I think that we, the 12s, ask the best questions that help propel our teams to winning more and more games, and more importantly, winning Super Bowls. Before we get into any of that, though, make sure you go get your Seahawks Today merch right now. Look at our t-shirt that we've got. The t-shirt, you've seen me wear it a couple of times here on the channel. We got it in the blue and the black. Of course, we got our Champions gear as well. We're going to have a link in the comment section and description of today's video. You click that link, it'll take you to our collection where you can get any of the gear we've got, whether it's the mascot Champions gear, you want to get yourself a hoodie, keep yourself nice and warm, or you want to wear the Mob Mentality t-shirt just like I've got on right now, the one I'm rocking, you can do so. It is a super comfy t-shirt. You're going to look fresh. You're going to look stylish. And most important, you are going to get a shout out on a future show if you go grab one of those t-shirts. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We'll make sure that we support you as well. Interesting. Brian Robinson Jr.'s agent. What's up, dog? Let's get the guy on the show. I would love to talk to him. Could the Seahawks sign another free agent running back? Hashtag Seahawks. Yes. Yeah, I think that they could. I think what General Manager John Schneider is going to do is he's going to wait a little bit, make sure that whatever signing the Seahawks do doesn't end up messing with the Seahawks' ability to get some comp picks. So it might not be until after the NFL draft. But right now, when we look at the free agent running backs, or at least the big three in my mind, Brian Robinson Jr., Joe Mixon, and Najee Harris are all still out on the board at the time of recording this video. So if all these guys are still out there in NFL free agency, I would not be shocked if the Seahawks decided to go and try and pick one of them up. It's important to note when we are recording this, of course, on our Thursday live show. So if anything changes and you get upset with me, like it's happened in the past, just know you're getting mad at a ghost. When I look at those free agent running backs, in my opinion, I think that the guy that makes the most sense potentially for this team would end up being actually Brian Robinson Jr. He is the healthiest of that crew, but more importantly to me, when I look at everything that he can do, he's going to have a little bit more of a breakaway speed. Now, the Seahawks do have a ton of really good talent on their roster already, so don't be shocked if the Seahawks decide to just kind of keep the status quo. When we look at who could be coming next, I'll tell you right now, I am very impressed with everything that the Seahawks do. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button, especially if you like the show and you like the content that we've got coming out here on the channel. The more likes on a video like this mailbag, the more opportunities we'll have to do more of these mailbags. If you're interacting with us, we're going to make the show for you. Jerry! What's up, big dog? Good to see ya. Expect to see Shaheed make huge improvement as a wide receiver, getting timing dialed in with Sam during the offseason. Could not agree more, Jerry. You're locked in and you're loaded on this, sir. I think when you look at this last season for Shaheed and for Sam Darnold, as well as they performed together, it felt like there was, some meat left on the bone. It felt like Shaheed was just a little bit underutilized, and it's not because he wasn't getting open. It's not because Sam Darnold wasn't looking for him. It just felt like, Sam Darnold was kind of a step behind him. And when you look at the entire 2025 season for Shaheed, obviously the numbers stand out just a little bit more when he was with the Saints. Some of that is because the Saints target him more, but also because the Saints, his quarterback over there at the time was Spencer Rattler, as well as he might have got a little bit of Tyler Shuck. They had spent time with him. They had spent, in the case of Rattler, multiple years. In the case of Shuck, an entire offseason. Sam Darnold just had to pick it up and be like, all right, Shaheed, let's figure this thing out. You get an entire offseason to build chemistry, watch out. Sky's the limit for this crew. Payton! Boom! What's up, dude? Good to see ya. Feel like we might need a big trade, but also scared of a big trade. Everything is expensive. I agree with you. I do feel like a big move could potentially be coming. And I still feel like the big rumor of this week, Devon Achane, I think he's still up for a trade. I think the Dolphins are willing to move on from him. A couple of different reasons. One, they're clearly rebuilding, blowing the whole thing up. Two, he's in the final year of his contract. Doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense to pay him a ton of money when, well, you're not going to pay a bunch of money to anyone else and you're not going to be good anytime soon. So I think a trade is out there. Now, obviously, I revamped my trade after ESPN's Adam Schefter came out and said, hey, Devon Achane, probably not going to get traded anymore. And I think that if the Seahawks really wanted him, they could trade a 2026 first-round pick for Achane. I don't think this is the worst idea in the world because, one, I believe that Achane is better for sure than anyone at pick number 32. Now, there's an opportunity for one of those players at 32 to eventually grow to be better than what Achane is. But I think if Achane is not in Miami, I think if Achane's somewhere else, let's say Achane is in Minnesota or he's in a spot where he's a little bit more of a focal point, he's with a team that is a little bit better, well, then he would be noticed a little bit more. And I do think that he would have an opportunity to end up being more of a widespread, a mainstream want for teams. Right now, he's not that. I think a first-round pick would be enough to get him to Seattle. The question is do the Seahawks want to make that move? Because if the Seahawks don't want to make that move, it would be because they don't necessarily want to re-sign him the next year, and I get that because he's only got 1 year under contract. Peyton, you're an absolute beast. Good to see you. Always love it when you do appear on our shows. Yeah, we'll get to that next question by my guy Xander. Let's go Seahawks. Thanks for everything you guys do, Xander. Love and appreciate you. Let's go Seahawks. Love you. Thank you for everything that you do. Coming in and being a real one here on Seahawks Today. We're going to dive into a little bit more draft content because that's kind of where your questions have started to go. So who is your favorite draft prospect right now? Be honest. Doesn't necessarily have to be someone that the Seahawks are targeting. Would prefer that, but maybe you love Ruben Bain. Maybe you love Akeem Mesidor. Maybe you love a certain offensive lineman by the name of Vega Ione. Just let me know down below in the comment section who your favorite guy to watch. As a former offensive lineman, kind of already let the cat out of the bag. I love Vega Ione, especially since he's a Washington kid. What's up, Cope Approach? Good to see you. Hashtag Seahawks. Thank you for using the hashtag appropriately. Do you think Emmanuel Wilson can keep the RB2 role even when Sharps is healthy? He seemed to have some sneaky good games when Jacobs was injured. Yeah, I think that the Seahawks made a fantastic under-the-radar move of grabbing him. We've seen Seattle do this multiple times. I mean, this is how Drake Thomas ended up in Seattle. Tyrese Knight was a late-round draft pick. Josh Jobe, obviously someone was a late signing. Ty Okada, another late signing. You look at a lot of this Seahawks roster, and it's guys who were late signings or cheap signings. And a guy like Emmanuel Wilson has shown that he can be an RB2 in this league. And maybe the Seahawks are looking at it and saying, in Brian Fleury's offense, we don't need that speedster breakaway guy. I'm cool with just getting a bunch of 4 yards in a cloud of dust guys. Maybe that's what the Seahawks are saying by going out and grabbing Emmanuel Wilson. Because look, at the time of when Charbonnet got hurt, that's January. Best case scenario, he's ready to go by October. I think there's a world where he might not be ready to go until like November or later. Like remember, Riley Mills is coming off a torn ACL. Now different positions, but he came off a torn ACL. He suffered his middle to end of December. He's not back with the team until November. Is there a world where Charbonnet's in the same spot? Maybe. So you need more of that strong power back, and that's where Wilson can come in. And I think Seattle has shown that they're not afraid to go with the guy who's taken the job by storm and runs away with it. Drake Thomas did it, and that's why he ended up being the starter over Tyrese Knight. So maybe there's a world where Emmanuel Wilson comes in, he takes the bull by the horns, becomes the starter, and ends up actually being our running back 1, and we got him for dirt cheap. I could definitely see that. And I actually, the more and more I look at Wilson, the more and more I like his signing. Let's see. Oh, Greasy, what's up, big dog? Good to see you. Love that facial hair. Seahawks, do you think Noah Whittington is a good scheme fit? Yes. I think that Noah Whittington is a good scheme fit. I don't know that Seattle will end up taking him just because if he were to get taken, he would be a later in the draft type of a guy. But Noah Whittington is great in zone read. He's great at finding open holes. I love Noah Whittington. He was awesome in his time at Oregon. I would love to get him on the Oregon Football Report, a show that I also host here at Chat Sports. I just can't say enough about Noah Whittington. It's hard to find running backs that don't fit into Shanahan-style offenses, which is what Seattle is going to run next year. And I just think Noah Whittington not only would fit, but he'd also excel. Darius Knight, what's up, big dog? How you doing? Hashtag Seahawks. How did our GM win the offseason with back re-signing? We haven't improved. Honestly, we got worse at 3 positions. We lost Walker, Woolen, and Mafe. Yes, their price tags were bad. All right, so let me talk you off the ledge here a little bit, Mr. Knight. First, losing Walker sucks. I will admit that. And I think you can make an argument that Seattle didn't necessarily right away get better on paper at that running back position. I would also make the argument that that running back position is still very solid. And the running back position, a lot of their success is going to go based on the way of the offensive line. You have a very good offensive line in Seattle, and it's going to get better because I think Sendell and Zabel are just going to get better by experience. And I think that Bradford has shown that he improved last year. He's not perfect, but he improved. So to me, yeah, that running back position, you're probably not better. But your offensive line might be better, so it might mask some of what's going on over there. Also, I think the play calling is better, and that's going to help you. When I look at Woolen, I think that Woolen and Jobe are the same guys. So to me, let's sign the guy that's cheaper. I understand why there's a lot of people that look at Woolen and say he's an athletic freak. He is, and Josh Jobe isn't. You look at their stat line, it's basically the same. Jobe's half the price. I don't know that you got worse there. I look at Mafe. Yeah, you didn't make any edge moves. You might be a little worse at edge. But if the Seahawks go in and draft Zion Young, the Missouri guy, did you get worse at edge? I think you can make an argument. Maybe you didn't. Maybe the Seahawks are looking at guys like Connor O'Toole or Jared Ivey, and they're saying, hey, those guys are actually better than Boye and Mafe. Or they can grow into a role where they're better. They fit our defense better. Boye and Mafe, he won a lot of pass rushing situations. He didn't do a whole lot this last year. He did a lot the 2 years previously. So maybe you got a little bit worse at running back. Maybe you got a little bit worse at edge. But I still think as a team, you're pretty damn good. Defensively, you brought back 10 of 11 starters. Offensively, you brought back 10 of 11 starters. I think Seahawks won this offseason. Make sure that you hit that sub button. I'm going to push Seahawks propaganda that are pro us, but I'm also going to give you the news and rumors and all the things that you want and all the things that you need to know. Hog Molly's Rule. What's up, War Daddy? Who is your favorite Seahawks draft target? That's a good question. Seattle, obviously, they've been linked to a lot of top-end talent in this draft. And I think my favorite player that they've been linked to that they really have a shot at getting, because unfortunately Akeem Mesidor is probably not going to fall to pick number 32, is Avian Terrell. Now, there's a chance that he doesn't end up in Seattle. He's a very good cornerback. He fits a position of need for the Seahawks team. He's a guy who can play on the inside as well as play on the outside for this squad. He's a guy that's instantly going to add to this defense. And I think that every year we've seen him play, he gets better. The one knock that you're going to have against Terrell is that he's a little bit shorter for an already really short cornerback room. When I look at his 2025 season, I think this Clemson team, while they might not have been the highest level for you, or they might have been a little bit disappointing in what they were and what they could have been, I don't think that Terrell was disappointing. When a lot of players took a step back, I would make the argument Terrell took a step forward. We also know that he knows how to be a pro's pro because, well, his brother is in the National Football League already, and he's a damn good pro. So to me, keep using Terrell. Find a way to get him on this squad. And if he's available at pick 32, I don't know how you don't take him. Make sure that you hit that sub button after you hit that thumbs up button. You love the content that we've got going here. You love the Seattle Seahawks. If you hit that thumbs up button, it's going to tell us that we need to do more mock draft content for you. And it's going to tell us that we need to do more mailbag content for you. If we do more mailbag content for you, well, we'll get to answer more of your questions. And I do love that. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Thank you to everyone who came to our live show on Thursday and participated in this mailbag. And I cannot wait to see you next time. Bang! What a show! Pop Toes, I hope you have a good one, man. Good to see you, Brian and Alma. What's up? Seahawks cannot get A-Chain for only our 32nd overall pick. Yeah, so Brian, I think when push comes to shove, a first-round pick is enough to get A-Chain. If they want more than that, they're going to hold on to him and he won't get traded, man. I don't think any team's offering more than a first-rounder for him. I talked to our Dolphins Today host, Nick Rolovich. Rolly. I think I said his name. Roloff. Nick Roloff. Rolly, a.k.a. Rolly. I think that he made it pretty clear that a first round would get it done. Brian Moeller says, I'd rather have Jennings. It would have been cheaper than Shaheed. Yeah, but he doesn't give you everything that Shaheed does. Iban, what's up? Shaheed is a game changer. Agreed. He says Dolphins are delusional. Second round is the best they'll get for A-Chain. Yeah, I think there's a decent chance there. All right, guys. I want to say thank you to everyone who hung out with us today. Had a lot of fun. Being live with you guys. We always love doing it. Very excited to see y'all. For producer Surl, for myself, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy all the craziness of this weekend. Cannot wait to see you guys next time. Love y'all. See you later.